Greetings, everybody. Thank you so much for your presence. Thank you so much for listening in the eternal now. Thank you for allowing me to speak. It's a wonder to have a voice, to allow source to flow through, and to sort of just be yourself and just let it rip. So many things have been occurring to me today, and many people call them downloads, and I kind of like that. I like that idea of like you're just like today. What happened was I got up to reheat my tea because it got cold, and I was in the kitchen, and I just suddenly just like felt like still. I just got really still. And it kind of feels like it feels like a cloak is like dropped on me. That's how it feels, or like a huge pile of snow. No, not snow. That'd be too cold. Anyway, it just feels like something just settles on me, and I just get super quiet. And it's lovely. It's lovely. And it's been happening to me since I was a little girl. And when I was a little girl, I probably spent the majority of my childhood crying. Yeah. I mean, I played a lot, of course. I do have really fond memories of playing outside with myself and with neighborhood kids. In my neighborhood, it was in the 60s and 70s, and I had a bike, and I just got to ride around. I mean, I had to let my mom know where I was going to be, but I mean, there's no cell phones, and I would just rip over to my friend's house, pick her up, and we'd take our bikes and just go ride. And sometimes I'd ride by myself too, just around the neighborhood. And whoops, this is plugged in. I'm gonna unplug it. Okay, so I got really quiet and received a beautiful download, and it was meant for me and me alone. And I'm going to share it probably, but it's just interesting when you open yourself up to the spaciousness of the field of pure source energy. When you say yes to the universe, to source, when you say yes to yourself, and when you listen, that's the trick. And to have compassion with yourself is also the trick. To know that we've all been programmed, and most of us have been raised in ways that stripped us of our worth and our self-esteem, and it wasn't our parents' fault because they were part of that program. They were part of that conditioning, that brainwashing, etc. So, they were the ones who did it to us, but they did the best they could. I sound like Louise Hay. So the way that I've been entrusted with this beautiful self-worth, it was my doing, because I decided to meditate every day, and yet I was supported as well, and still guided and supported. So, and you can be too. That's the thing. I mean, everybody gets to choose. Everybody gets to say yes to themselves, to their inner being, to the source that dwells within, and you get to say it in every moment. And suddenly, truly, your life becomes a grand adventure and a magical land of love, even in the midst of insanity. I'm following what's happening now in the world, the whole world. I'm following it, and it's quite a tale. It's quite a tale of war and peace. And as I follow it, I am at times super triggered. I get really scared and like, we're doomed, that kind of thing. And then I get back to my center and back to source and back to my true self. And the fear just melts. The fear just melts in the moment when you turn towards source, God, the universe. It becomes a distant memory. And in the moment when you do turn toward, you are light. You are light. Your heart is light. And it's an old, it's kind of like an old habit, or like everything in my body is made up of what happened to me or how I lived before this grand, awakening, I guess you could call it. I mean, I think I was just sort of like Eeyore. I was like Eeyore. And maybe I still am a little bit, and that's okay. In fact, I'm wearing a sweater, a gray sweater like Eeyore, but I'm wearing a cool hat that's not like Eeyore, so, Yeah, we get to choose our destiny, our genes, our ancestors. They don't decide our destiny. The brainwashing doesn't decide our destiny. The programming, the celebrities, the financial situation, that's not our destiny. We choose our destiny. And yet we don't plan it. We're not the architect of it, When you link up with source and plug in and hook up and get with source on a daily basis, you're guided. You're guided to your destiny. You're guided along a path, which is your life, which is the gift that you have been given. And that's what makes it such an adventure, is because you have no clue. You have no clue how it's going to shake down. But you're in good hands, so it's a blast. It's a total blast. The technique is simple. You get up, you drink water, you get water, you sit down, you close your eyes, you make your spine straight, you relax your body, you breathe, and you focus on your third eye. That's been the most helpful for me, to focus on my third eye and my heart too. And then you set a timer, and you just get quiet and focus on the breath or on a small sound that's in the room. You can create a sound with an app, or you can listen to your heater or your air conditioner. And you just sink into yourself, into the interior of yourself, into the vast spaciousness of the interior of yourself, and that's where you meet yourself. That's where That's where it all happens. That's where the magic happens, because Source dwells within you, and you are connected intimately, inherently, explicitly, absolutely with that field of consciousness and that energy. And sometimes it happens for a long, like it happens for 5 minutes, a minute, 2 minutes. Sometimes it happens for 30 seconds where you make that hookup, where the link is secure. And when that happens, then you experience the silence and the bliss. And that just like sends your body a message that all's well. It's all good. You're safe. You're with the main energy, all it is. So yeah, every day, 20 minutes without fail. No matter if I'm sick. If I'm sick, like the beginning of February, I got really, really sick. I'm pretty sure I had the disease. I'm pretty sure I did. But I remember when I was super sick, sometimes I'd get up and sit, and other times I would just do it in bed. So, I mean, sometimes it doesn't look perfect. You just do the best you can with what you've got. And yet you just keep going. You keep going. You keep going every single day. And the effect is magical. It's brilliant. It's cumulative. Suddenly you'll just go, wait a minute. Everything's different. And it's a lifelong journey. You know, Abraham says the joy is in the journey, and that is actually that's a familiar phrase, adage. The joy is in the journey. It's not in the destination, because there is no destination. You're always on the journey, forever, eternally. So why not be happy and joyful in the now? It's simple, it's basic, it's amazing. So this is my channel, this is what I do, this is how I roll. Thank you, I appreciate your presence. I appreciate this opportunity to really be my authentic self with all the trimmings. I appreciate you, and I will be back tomorrow. Have a beautiful rest of your day and a beautiful rest of your night. Peace.